Hi, my name is Alvin Toe. Today's November 28, 2017. Today I'm going to be explaining the experiment of carbohydrate fermentation testing. So I started cleaning my area with bleach, and then gathering all my supplies, which are the 6 red broths and then the active cultures of epidermitis and cerevisiae, and also the powder included from the lab, which is the glucose, fructose, and mannitol. So I started off with labeling the broth, the red broth. So this side is all the cerevisiae, and this side is all the epidermitis labeled. And each from the 3, I labeled each one which I needed, which is glucose, fructose, and mannitol. Same thing with the epidermitis, glucose, fructose, and mannitol. So what I first did was, we'll start with the cerevisiae with glucose. So I uncapped the red broth. I put it under the flame to sterilize the tip. I got the glucose powder and I poured half of it only, because the other half will go into the epidermitis. After that, I would recap it to shake it to dissolve all the powder, and then I'll reopen it and get the Durham tubes, which is already in here. I'm not sure if you can see it. Durham tubes, which are already soaked into the alcohol and dried it, and I would put it in here, and then I would recap it. After recapping it, if there was an air bubble in the Durham test tube, I would invert it until all the air bubbles escape. So after that, I would uncap it again, and I'll get my cerevisiae active culture, uncap that one as well. So I would sterilize the culture like so, and then I would do it again for the red broth base. From that, I would get my sterilized pipette from the alcohol, and after that I would get the active culture and I'll put 4 drops into the red broth, and then I would re-sterilize it again like so, and then recap it. Okay, so I did the same steps as I showed you right now for all of the other test tubes I needed, such as the fructose, and then as well as the mannitol. And I did the same thing for the epidermitis. So I used the epidermitis culture and so on. So after all that was done, I let that incubate for 12 hours. And after the 12 hours, I let it fermentate. After fermentation, these are the results. So basically, the epidermitis and cerevisiae glucose have fermented, and there's no air bubbles, as well as the fructose for each of them fermented because there's no color change. But for the mannitol for each of them, I had a non-fermentation. If you can see it, it was red inside, or still kind of red inside. That's it.